Family seating is full, sir. Those were the first words I heard when I walked into the auditorium. Not congratulations. Not you must be so proud. Just a full. My name is Brian, and I had waited 16 years for this moment. My son Ethan was about to receive the biggest academic award in his high school, Student of the Year, top of his class, a full scholarship announcement, the kind of moment a father imagines from the day he first holds his newborn in his arms. And somehow there wasn't a seat for me. I tightened my grip on the small velvet box in my pocket, a watch I'd saved for months to buy him. I'm his father, I said calmly, Ethan Cole, 10th grade. The usher barely looked up from her clipboard. I'm sorry, sir, family seating reached capacity. You can sit in the general section at the back. The back? Where strangers sit. Where cameras don't point. Where proud fathers disappear. I forced a nod and walked past rows of reserved signs toward the very last section. And that's when I saw them. Front row, Ethan's mother, and beside her, Mark, her new husband, in the seat that should have been mine. 5 years ago, when the divorce papers were signed, I promised myself one thing. No matter what happened between me and my ex-wife, I would always show up for my son. Even if I had to sit in the back. Even if I had to swallow my pride. At first, Ethan called me every night. We talked about school, friends, basketball practice. But when Mark came into the picture, things shifted. Mark had money. Mark had connections. Mark bought Ethan his first laptop. His first car took him to expensive restaurants. Meanwhile, I worked overtime at a warehouse just to keep up with child support and rent. I couldn't compete with money. So I competed with presence. Every game, every parent-teacher meeting, every science fair. Even when I wasn't wanted. Especially when I wasn't wanted. The ceremony started. Applause echoed through the auditorium as awards were handed out. Then finally, and now Student of the Year Ethan Cole. The crowd erupted. My heart pounded so hard I could feel it in my throat. Ethan walked across the stage, tall, confident, wearing the suit I helped him pick out last weekend. I smiled despite the ache in my chest. The principal handed him the trophy and leaned toward the microphone. Ethan, would you like to say a few words? He nodded. This was the moment. He stepped forward. I want to thank my mom, he began, smiling toward the front row, for always believing in me. Applause. And I want to thank my dad. My breath stopped. Mark. The auditorium clapped loudly. Mark stood slightly, waving modestly. For teaching me discipline and showing me what success looks like, Ethan continued. The applause grew louder. I didn't move. Didn't blink. Didn't breathe. Ethan finished by thanking his teachers and friends. And that was it. No Brian. No father. No man who stayed up helping him study algebra. No man who drove 2 hours every weekend just to watch him play for 10 minutes. I wasn't just in the back row. I was invisible. The ceremony ended and families rushed toward the stage. Cameras flashed. Flowers were handed over. I stayed seated. Maybe this was my sign, I thought. Maybe I should quietly leave. Spare myself the humiliation. But as I stood up to go, I heard someone say, "Where Brian's?" I froze. It was Ethan's voice. I need to find my dad. I slowly turned. Ethan was scanning the crowd, confusion written all over his face. His mother said something to him. Mark placed a hand on his shoulder. But Ethan shook it off. No, I mean my dad, Brian. The room seemed to shift. Heads turned. Whispers started. Ethan stepped closer to the microphone again. "I'm sorry," he said, voice steady but emotional. "I forgot something." The principal handed him the mic. Ethan looked straight toward the back rows. "Toward me. There's someone I didn't mention," he said, "and I need to fix that." The auditorium quieted. "My dad, Brian, is here tonight." A ripple moved through the crowd. "He's sitting in the back because the family section was full." Every head turned. I wished the floor would swallow me. "But the truth is," Ethan continued, "there wouldn't be any award without him." Silence. "He's the one who taught me how to study when I wanted to quit. He's the one who worked double shifts so I could get tutoring. He's the one who never missed a game, even when he had to stand." My eyes blurred. He didn't give me expensive gifts. He gave me time and effort and love. Now people were clapping. Not polite applause. Real applause. Ethan raised his voice. "Brian, can you please come down here? Because if anyone deserves the front row, it's you." The entire auditorium stood up. Standing ovation. For me. I couldn't move at first. Then slowly, I walked down the aisle. Each step felt unreal. When I reached the stage, Ethan pulled me into a hug. Not a quick one. Not an awkward one. A real hug. The kind I hadn't felt in years. "I'm sorry, Dad," he whispered. "I practiced your name first. I just got nervous." "It's okay," I managed to say. But it wasn't just okay. It was everything. The principal brought 2 chairs to the stage. "Looks like we need to adjust the seating," she said warmly. And for the first time that night, I sat in the front row. Not because someone gave me permission, but because my son made space for me. On the drive home, Ethan held the small velvet box I'd given him. "You didn't have to buy me this," he said. "I know," I replied, "but I wanted to." He looked at me differently that night. Not as the backup parent. Not as the weekend dad. But as his father. Fully. Finally. Sometimes life puts you in the back row. Sometimes people forget to call your name. But if you show up consistently, if you love without keeping score, your moment will come. It might not look the way you imagined, but it will come. And when it does, it'll be worth every silent sacrifice. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because sometimes the quiet parents in the back row deserve to have their stories heard too.